This has a great example of their product, and this will give you an idea of how an Internet of Things device will be connected, or you could, we talk about verifiability, something to be certified on blockchain. Look at this. It's going to recycle it here in a second. It even shows US design. Look at that, blockchain certified. This is an IoT device, right? Design contract, and you can verify what on a ledger, right? And if anything, look, it's going to recycle through it again. Let's share it one more time. We're almost there. There's blockchain certified. Boom. So what about this new blockchain that Jasmy's trying to do? You get where I'm going with this. Every single thing that they're connected to, the design contracts, you name it, being able to have something that is a trusted layer. Talk about being immutable. These are perfect examples of that. All right, jumping into the last part of what we have, and I want to talk about final aim. I know we're talking about Felica earlier, but this is good stuff. This is this particular guy who is part of Final Aim, and basically speaking, this is from a while back, but this is good stuff. This will give you a broader perspective of where we're going with all this, because you want to know something. This is worth looking into, and then after that, I'm going to show you this thing from Final Aim, and then after that, I think we're going to wrap up the show. So let's go ahead and play this. Let me get on the right tab. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. Please smash that like, and there is some subtitles for you because this guy's a little bit hard to understand. He speaks English, but he's a little bit hard to understand, so there's some subtitles for you. All right, let's go ahead and play this. Please smash that like, and thank you for staying here in regards to our extended coverage. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Masa, co-founder and CEO of FinerM. FinerM, a frictionless contract management for industrial design and manufacturing, especially enterprise side. So clients, Sony and Panasonic, those type of companies as the design department. Once again, I'm co-founder and the CEO of FinerM. I'm a serial entrepreneur. First exit is in Singapore, and the second is Tokyo in Japan. My first company is Mizuho Financial Group, and the second company is the Recruit Group, and I was in charge of Information Technology Department, and the next changed the place from Tokyo in Japan to Singapore. After managing director twice, I joined the startup additive manufacturing and the machine learning startup 2016. And I was in charge of Chief Operating Officer and Head of Product Management and Executive Director of Corporate Planning Team. 2017, fortunately, I succeeded to be acquired a Tokyo Exchange listed company. As a co-founder, yes, is an industrial designer, and the first company is a Nikon, and the second company is the same company with me. He supported the tier 1 clients, Toyota, Honda, and Microsoft, SoftBank, those type of companies. About program, managing contract is costly and complex in industrial design and manufacturing. So our solution is contract management and execution platform by smart contracts. We have already launched the beta version of platform, and it's possible to manage 2D and 3D design and the contract and information of intellectual properties. As a market volume, some is 2.5 billion US dollars, and some is 18.8 billion US dollars, and about time 130 billion US dollars. And once again, we have already collaborated with Sony, especially the design. So Final Aim is collaborated with Sony Design Consulting over the 1 year. And
let's just pause that for a second. So for one, think about this. What's one of the key things we've been talking about all night long? The Sony connection. Can you imagine people still stating that Jasmy has no legitimate Sony connection? Here's another perfect example of a Sony freaking connection. Like, unbelievable. What else do you also see on the screen? Do you not see, for instance, Flux? Interesting. Very interesting how it all comes together. We gave you that example of Render. And then also the partnership with, for instance, Flux, because that simply makes sense, right? Decentralized storage solution that provides the same type of specs that you have with Amazon Web Services and also have with Google Web Services, right? Or cloud services, for instance, right? Why would you go with the centralized entities when you could go with the decentralized entities and get the same type of service for significantly less, right? Price does sell. There's a place called Walmart for a reason, right? But we're talking about literally distributed ledger technologies, distributed storage systems, technologies, and so on. So I just wanted to point that out. We'll play the rest of this. This is good stuff because you want to know something? There always will be that one guy out there who hasn't done the right research or any research and say, no, these are just former Sony executives. They don't have any real ties to Sony. What a crock, okay? For real. Why do I consistently bring this to you guys? I know that we don't have a lot of people watching at this particular point of the night, but it's okay. What a crock, though. Because consistently, you always see these guys who are partnered with other people who are like, yeah, we got this thing with Sony. What are you guys all trying to accomplish? Smart cities? Okay. Society 5.0? Yeah, we're all trying to contribute to that. Oh, interesting. So there's no Sony plug. There's no Sony Connect. Again, what crock. All right, let's play the rest of this. Here we go.
About Panasonic, we have already collaborated with them, not only United States of America, but also as Tokyo in Japan. And our business model is very simple, as a monthly recurring revenue, and sometimes customization will be happen, in that case, additional fee. Thank you for your time today.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. So here is the last, I think this is the last part about it, because you're probably wondering, well, who the heck is Final Aim? Here is Final Aim, and this did come from the piece from the one and only Level 8, excuse me. And again, reported, roughly around this time last year, Final Aim and Sony, what did they do? They designed consulting, begin proof of concept using IC card type hardware wallets in Web3 areas. You guys asked about the super wallet. You asked, is there any information? The information is already there. We just got to go back in time. Check this out. So here's a little bit detailed information. And if you're just tuning in, like, this is some really good, in my opinion, research. I don't know. Maybe you think it's crap. I don't know. Some people just whatever. But yes, for number one, we know that Jasmine recently got into finance democracy. Okay. Consulting. Boom. There you go. Right here. And on top of that, hardware wallets, the super wallet. So this whole aim and where they're connected, for one, look where their headquarters are. Do Jasmy have a partner that's got the U.S. plug? Here's another example, Delaware. Were you aware that Delaware was our first state of the union? Yeah, the first state is Delaware. I don't know. I've never been to Delaware, but anyway. But yeah, Sony Consulting Co., Sony Consulting Co., Jasmine Consulting Services. Oh, there's no Sony. Jeez. Anyway, are working together in the Web3 domain. They have started this demonstration in regards to a hardware wallet. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you the last part from Jesse. And Jesse does a really good job with this. Again, you got to give him a follow. I know most of you guys are. We're in the Jasmine, but in recent years, Web3 tech is decentralized. We know this, right? Since its founding, if you're wondering about the Final Aim, they have been working on blockchain tech with the mission of making Web3 tech widely used not only by the people in high financial and IT literacy, but also regardless of nationality, race, gender, age, etc. Right? No discrimination. They're proceeding with the research and development. They did this. This is again from a year ago. They also globally launched the beta version of Final Chain again a year ago. Where are we at now? Are we literally seeing the taste of what's being reported? Think about this for a second, guys, because we're trying to get to the point of this new Jasmine chain. So is the beta literally over with? Well, that's what I want you to focus on. The beta through Final Chain over with, right? And now you see all this new stuff coming out. So all the time, everything was quiet. Again, like I've always mentioned, you don't realize what is being built in the background. You know, it's not just Jasmine, multiple projects. I always mention XDC. XDC is probably one of the best examples. You don't see no news, no nothing. Watch out for the ones that don't mention anything. You know, a footer or a person that never made any money in this whole thing of crypto, they're always going to point that out. Why do you want to be involved in this? Why do you want to invest in this? You know, they haven't mentioned anything. If it's a solid project that's part of or close to the top 100, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is sometimes. Now look at this. Talks about patents. Who do we know that's connected really heavily when it comes to patents? So Web3 platform for design, digital manufacturing apply for 3 international patents. As Sony Laboratories, based on the knowledge of contactless ID card tech, Felica, that Sony has cultivated over many years, it is used not only for payments, but also for a wide range of applications such as personal information management. Who the hell is, sorry, get a little excited again. Who is the key leader when it comes to personal information management? Jasmine, right? Absolutely. How about this other one? So, above it, Sony has cultivated, Felica, that Sony has cultivated over many years. So for one, you have Merida, who is with Felica, right? You have that plug cultivated over many years. So a great relationship, obviously, with Sony Computer Science. People are still stating that Jasmine has no plug, no connect with Sony. I just don't think they've done their proper research. I'm just being honest. I don't think they've done their proper research. All right, how about more about this? For this purpose, we are developing, at least back then. Look at this, guys. I mean, to me, this is like, we're not dumb. I help you connect the dots. Hardware wallet tech, including IC card hardware-related tech and mutual authentication, encryption, and communication technology. Mutual authentication. Remember we talking about, what's it called? Meridia, right? Remember that thing with the finger? You saw it in the thumbnail. Scans your what? Scans your vein. Boom, there's that. So again, my thing is this, and you've seen other content creators do it, right? You always reference the past to give you an idea where we're at right now. And if anything, when you do so, it's just like, oh yeah, now this makes sense. You know, we gone from the phases of test nets, but it was never public. I'm just being honest. I tie all this stuff in, and I don't need somebody to tell me that this is the connector, or this is the, you know, this is what happened in the past. I've done more than my own homework at this point to come to the conclusion of what we're talking about right now. This hardware wallet enables secure signature processing inside the secure element of the IC card. We talked about IC cards. So far, both Final Aim and Sony Design Consulting have been conducting joint research on design since 2020. Funny how that's mentioned, Final Aim and Sony. Funny how it's also mentioned, Felica, Sony. All the connections to Jasmine, back and forth. But yes, joint research since 2020. Now, in order to further deepen joint research and partnership between the two companies in the Web3 area, they will demonstrate experiments in the IC card type hardware wallets and tokens issued by Final Aim. They have this whole proof of concept. I mean, we can nerd it out if you want. But this is good because it explains the role of Sony Design Consulting. Look at this. Sony provides IC card type hardware wallets. supports blockchain tech from the design field. What about the role of final aim? They give you those examples. We already showed you the video, for crying out loud. I mean, it was a GIF, but it shows how it's verifiable on what? Like, look at this example on the top left. I don't know if I can make that bigger. Let me see if I can make that bigger. But the point is, it shows that certified. Yeah, there we go. That's bigger. Look at this. Look at this example real quick. There's not a lot of people watching, but you want to know something? We'll chop it up and, do it from there. Blockchain certified. Here's this other example, mechanical parts drawings. Here's some more examples. It even shows certification date. Let's go further over to the right. Even face data. Remember we talking about scanning a person's face, their eyes, all that stuff? It says face data of a customer, 3D scan and modeled by iMetrics Japan. I don't know, guys. I mean, my thing is, maybe some people aren't excited about this. It gets me excited because I realize, like, how much this is going to be worth in the future. This has to be very, very valuable in the future. Am I complaining about the current prices of, like, for instance, Jasmine and so on? No, I'm not. I'm recognizing that this is still opportunity for me. It's opportunity for you. Let me jump back to, I think, the last parts of what we have in regards to this. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's the bottom line. Here's, in closing, is an example from NeoXTrix in regards to KYM verification. We did talk about, was it Morita or Meridia? I can't pronounce it right now. So that's the tip of my tongue. But yes, basically speaking, KYM verification. Will this basically be what Jasmy's going to do in the future for devices? I mean, it's just an example. It doesn't necessarily have to mean it's just this only. It could be other examples, but this is a good example. And let's go ahead and share this. And in closing, here we go. Pretty simple, pretty much to the point. Everything that we covered for many months now. So let me know what you guys think in that regard. But here's, as promised, the part from Jesse of KR Finance. I apologize. Sometimes I got kind of ahead of myself. I want to share this from him. I already have fast forwarded. So I want you to remember some of the things we presented to you tonight. We're trying to tie everything together, connecting the dots. This segment is probably, I don't know, 6 to 10 minutes, and then this will be it for the show tonight. But this is something that Jesse released. I want to share these two things for you because we were talking about, obviously, this whole new thing from Jesse at KR Finance, and I'm going to show you this example. So Final Aim is part of something that's connected with Jasmine. Maybe you already watched it. I don't know. But by all means, watch his entire thing about it. This is a good part I already gone ahead and fast forward to. It's called Jasmy Chain. All you need to know from Jesse of KIR Finance, keeping it real finance. And yeah, let's just get right into it, right to the point. Smash that like.
And the reason I know this and why, I said earlier, the cart is maybe ahead of the horse, is that I've seen this happen in numerous other cryptocurrencies. Jasmy is by far an anomaly. They are following the same playbook as numerous other cryptocurrencies that develop their own blockchain, right? This is sort of a blockchain progression. This is where in the past I've said, Jasmy could use a blockchain advisor, right? Somebody from the world of blockchain to explain that, hey, this is your next logical step. Here's where, 300 other projects also went at the exact same point that you're at now, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. So the first thing they do, they create the JASMY blockchain, right? In development. Great. Number two, we create the JASMY super wallet. What is that? That's basically the interface, the interaction point between the community and the project, right? Jesse, you hold JASMY. How do you do anything with it? Well, I need to put it in my JASMY super wallet, and once it's in there, then I get the following utility things that are available to me, right? That's the point of the super wallet. This is your touch point with JASMY, okay? Now, when you have that, currently, all of our tokens are on the Ethereum blockchain. They're in Ethereum land. They are ERC20 JASMY. Is there any utility? No, there's none. On the JASMY blockchain, would there be utility? Yes, there would. However, there's no supply, right? So what do? This is where the natural progression is to bridge the token over to the JASMY blockchain, and then it would technically become the, quote, native JASMY, right? That's it, native JASMY. And all the other projects I've seen do this, that's exactly what they do. They bridge it, and then eventually, the coins that they're selling on exchange, they get rid of the old ones, and they already convert them. So something like a Coinbase, you'd have no idea as a user, but you may be buying the native coin, right? That's it. That's how the whole thing works. And then what that leads into is number 4, the data exchange token lockup. This is the thing that we've been projecting out for 2 years. This goes back to that original chart, which showed the businesses locking up the coin. This is how the coin goes up in value, is those are taken out of the supply. They are, quote, locked up, right? This is where the overall price rises, the market cap rises. This is where if you're holding the coin, the value rises, right? All of it hinges on this. It all comes together. And
Come on, are you guys not hearing this? You got to hear this. You've been asking about all that talk about Q4 lockup. I hear you guys. I've seen you guys' comments. Rightfully so. I've been wondering about it as well. Literally, listen to what he's saying right here. This is the part you don't want to miss. I know a lot of people watching right now, but listen to this. Play some more.
in one picture, all right? Now, because the native coin idea was such a Pandora's box, let's say, I went ahead and I made some questions here, right? So I want to talk through these. So first one, why can't we just leave the coin where it is as an ERC20 token? The reason why, essentially, is that the existing supply has no utility, right? As I said earlier, it can be bought, it can be sold, it can be held. That's it. You can't secure the network or earn rewards with the current token. Transactions, as I noted here, are limited to 30 plus or minus transactions per second. You have extreme limitations and you have no utility. So could you leave it there? Sure you could. Yeah, we could leave it just like we have right now. But guess what? All those things that you want to happen, this 1, 2, 3, 4, what's the point? There's no point if you have no coin to use for utility, right? How does the coin get from chain 1 to chain 2, right? So chain 1 would be Ethereum. That's where we're at right now. Chain 2 would be the Jasmy blockchain. Existing assets move via a bridge from point A to point B. That's it. They would bridge them over. That's a term that you hear a lot of times in cryptocurrency, bridge the asset, bridge it from one place to another place. That's it, okay? Will the supply be increased or doubled by leaving the original coins on chain 1 and creating all new coins on chain 2, right? No, it will not. A bridge would be used for all 55,000 plus holders and incentivized via the new utility functions. Creating an all-new supply would essentially restart 55,000 holders. It would restart your market cap that, give or take, is $160 million, right? You would not take your market cap to zero. You would not, I would refer to this as nuking your own project, right? You would not nuke your own project by creating a whole new set of coins on chain number 2. There's no incentive. There's no incentive to do any of this. I'm not sure why people think that that could be a possibility, because it's really not. It never was. It never has been. To my knowledge, I don't think I've ever seen a single project that has ever done that. Not one time ever. All right. You simply take what you've got, your existing assets, your existing holders, and you move those assets to the new chain. You move it from point A to point B. That's all you do. All right. Now, are bridges manual or automatic? They can be both. Okay. So if you were holding coins, let's say in a cold storage wallet, you're probably going to have to do it manually through some sort of a manual transition page, right? If it is an automatically supported thing, in all the other coins, I've seen this exact same thing happen. Somebody like a Coinbase or a Binance, they come out and they say, yeah, we're supporting the token migration of whatever coin it is. You don't have to do anything. Just leave your assets here in your wallet, on the centralized exchange, and they'll just convert automatically, right? That's how it works. That's it. Then that's done. Eventually, at some point in the future, typically, the exchange may no longer sell the original asset, right? Because why would we? What's the point? There's no utility for it. Everything has moved to a new blockchain at that point, right? This is kind of where I was going with a native JASMY token, is there's numerous reasons on why a native JASMY token makes sense in the future. The current coin, does it continue to make sense as time goes on? Not really, okay? It makes sense to bridge it to the new JASMY blockchain. Now, as an ambassador, have I ever been given any information whatsoever about a native JASMY token? No. Have I ever heard Hara on AMA talk about a native JASMY token? No. Have I ever seen anyone who represents JASMY in an official way talk about a native JASMY token? No. Those are all no's. This is simply Jesse, the person who follows blockchain, who has been following it for years, who, I guess, knows what a natural progression is in this world of cryptocurrency. And this is how I see it going. A long time ago, I've talked about the wallet. We've talked about the blockchain well before they were announced. I announced DWF Labs a good month before the team ever announced it. Our team of researchers all over the globe has found things that we knew before it was ever officially announced. That's probably where this is headed. Probably. Now, again, could I be wrong? Sure. Ultimately, could they say, hey, you know what? We're just going to leave all the existing supply on the Ethereum blockchain. We're going to move over to JASMY blockchain and somehow make this work without it. That doesn't make any sense to me. But if that's, where you think this could go, Again, I'm only going based off of experience of following the cryptocurrency markets, of following, the Polkadots, the Cardanos, all these other projects that they all start on Ethereum. That's where everybody starts, right? But where you finish, eventually you grow out of it. It's like Ethereum is kind of like the neighborhood that all the friends moved into originally. And then as everybody gets older, people start moving on to different places because they outgrow the house in that neighborhood. That's kind of what happens here with Ethereum in particular. This is one of the reasons with Ethereum why they're trying to go to Ethereum 2.0. They have to increase the TPS, right? The throughput, the scalability. They don't have any right now. There is no scalability. You know, I mean, Ethereum came out, I want to say 2016, 2017. So it's been out a long time, right? Originally it was proof of work. Now it's proof of stake. Even Vitalik himself has come out and said with Ethereum 2.0, he thinks they could get up to 800,000 transactions per second, right? To be seen, right? To be seen, can they actually do this, yes or no? I don't know. Ultimately, with Jasmy here, the entire point of everything is that the Jasmy blockchain brings so much more functionality in a good way than what has existed to date, right? And it makes it so that for all of us holders who are holding the coin, we may actually be able to use the coin for more than just holding it. We may be able to get some utility out of it, right? That's where this is headed. Now, some of these questions, some of this stuff, believe me, these are things that I'm going to ask an AMA. Absolutely. Have I had the opportunity to talk about them yet? No. Do I have any open conversations with anybody at Team Jasmy? No, I don't. I simply, as always, have followed it, continue to follow it. Now I'm in an ambassador role, and I help to promote it further with, you know, whatever information I'm given. What the ultimate, you know, ambassador program looks like, you know, it's still a little bit up in the air. I mean, for all of us who are in it, we don't know entirely. Like we really don't know yet. So I think there's still a few questions there, some things to be answered, some things to clean up. But you know, our role as being part of this is to hopefully streamline some of these answers, right? Streamline. Get ahead of these things before they come up, right? This is a great example of that. Get ahead of something like this before it comes up. Is a native Jasmy on schedule? Yes or no? I don't know, right? We need to find out. I think there's a lot of reasons for it, a lot more for it than against it. But has anything ever been confirmed to date? Not yet. Not yet. But this is a start, right? So the ambassador program is a start. The announcement of the Jasmy chain is a start. And where we go from here, well, you know, obviously some of us have some ideas of where we go from here, but to be determined when and where that transpires. All right. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody out there. If you got questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to comment about it. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter, my website, and elsewhere. And for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse, Keeping It Real Finance, channel that always has your back, tells it like it is, right? It's something I'm going to continue to do, and I've always done. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good weekend.
All right. So obviously, big thanks to Jesse of Keeping It Real Finance, KIR Finance. I want to state this, all right? So you did hear the part where it's like, currently no utility. I'm going to be honest. With all due respect to Jesse, I do not agree with that statement. What's a perfect example of that? Well, as we know, there is Jasmy secure blockchain PCs and laptops, and those are plug and play. Those people who choose to use that do have their own personal data management, and that is the utility right there. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a difference as far as opinion based off of like different utility layers and so on. But I just want to throw that out there. Do I agree with a lot of things that he said in regards to this new native token and so on, and where we need to go with that? Yeah. Yeah, he's right. I mean, technically speaking, I mean, you know, we got to get confirmation from the team and so on, but say what you want. Like even here, I mean, we talked about, for instance, some things that were speculative, and then you find out later that that's actually a thing. He did it as well. So I'm leaning more towards trust the research. Connect the dots for a reason, and we'll consistently try to bring you guys the news and the info in that regard.